May I have Dr. R.K. Buddhist, Chairman CEPCI India, please, to come on stage. Everybody, please give them a huge round of applause as they walk up. May I also invite Dr. Adama Coulibaly, Managing Director, CCA Côte d'Ivoire, to come on stage, please. May I also invite Mr. Mahesh Patel, Chairman ETG Group, to come on stage, as well as Mr. G. Srivastava, President Fortel Business Solutions, to come on stage as well. May I now invite Mr. G. Srivastava, President Fortel Business Solutions Private Limited, promoter, and CashewInfo.com, to present the welcome address.
Distinguished dignitaries on the dais, Dr. R.K. Buddhist, Chairman, Cashew Export Promotion Council of India, Dr. Adama Coulibaly, Managing Director, Cotton and Cashew Nut Council, Côte d'Ivoire, Mr. Mahesh Patel, Chairman, Export Trading Group, expert speakers and panelists, government representatives, over 490 delegates from 38 plus countries, press and media, and ladies and gentlemen, a warm welcome to you all to the 4th edition of the World Cashew Convention. I understand many of you have traveled a long distance to reach Macau to attend this important annual conference just ahead of this season. We wish you all a very good and productive 3 days of stay and business-enabling networking here. About a month ago, we contacted the office of the Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, Mr. Suresh Prabhu, and invited him to be the chief guest at the inaugural function. He was very eager to come and address the gathering here. Unfortunately, he had to stay back in Delhi, as today also happens to be the day of presentation of Union Budget of Government of India, an event which no minister can miss. However, he has been kind enough to send his video message yesterday. Before I continue further, I wish to present the recorded video message of the Honorable Minister of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, Mr. Suresh Prabhu. May I request to play the video, please.
I am very happy that this World Cashew Convention is taking place, and that is happening at a time when we are working on so many important initiatives for the cashew industry. I know one of the key components of that is an import duty which was imposed, which is preventing raw cashew from coming to India, which has created huge problem and created unemployment running into lakhs of people. In fact, I already taken up the issue with the Finance Ministry, and I am sure soon you will hear a good news from them. I am very sure that, as I explained to the Cashew Export Promotion Council, that prepare a business plan. Each of the exporter prepares his own business plan when he goes to bank for a loan, but they don't prepare together a business plan for the Cashew Export Promotion Council. Every Export Promotion Council must prepare their own business plan. It should not just be coming to the government asking for some duty relief, but a comprehensive business plan in which whatever is the issues with the government should also be included. But only issues with the government cannot be the business plan. The business has to grow on their own strength, for which what support you need from the government you ask from me, and I am committed to give it to you. We will work on this important sector. Let me offer you my best wishes and tell you that we need to modernize, for which we will find resources. We need to export more, for which we will find market together, to create manpower training, which will work together so that we create employment together. So thank you very much. Congratulations.
That was indeed a very positive message from the Commerce Minister, and we eagerly look forward to the import duty waiver very soon this afternoon as we proceed. India is announcing its budget. I place on record our sincere gratitude to the Honorable Minister, Mr. Suresh Prabhu, for his commitment to the Indian cashew industry. I am sure bright days are ahead for the global cashew industry as well. Mr. Nguyen Duc Thanh, President Vinacus, had suddenly developed some health issues yesterday, and hence he had to cancel his trip in the last minute. He has sent his best wishes to the conference and assured Vinacus support to the conference in the coming years, as has always been. I'm indeed very happy to inform you that the fourth edition of the World Cashew Convention is organized in association with International Nut and Dried Fruits Council, INC. It is the global body and it's the only body for the nuts industry. We are truly honored to have the INC ambassador and board of trustee member, Mr. Pratap Nair, delivering the keynote immediately after this inaugural function. 2017 was a very challenging year for the global cashew sector. Raw nut prices were high and volatile despite a near record high level West African and Indian crop production. Kernel prices too increased, although in many parts of the world it came at the expense of a demand destruction. Quality compliance and contract sanctity faced huge challenges. All these increased business risks and hindered fresh investments into the sector. Recent history has clearly shown that stable raw nut and kernel prices are the most fundamental and basic part of the sustainable development and growth of this sector. A recent survey conducted by Cashew Info a week ago revealed that conditions are best set for achieving stability in the market in 2018. Our survey points to a forecast of a good crop in West Africa and India in 2018, leading to an expectation of stable raw nut prices in the coming campaign. I am very optimistic that the stakeholders present here would have an excellent year ahead with stable prices and would see re-emergence of demand for kernel. As with every year, I place here our enormous gratitude to the contributions of the Technical Advisory Committee in setting the agenda. Today, after the inaugural and keynote address, we have two interesting sessions on raw cashews. The first one will focus on raw cashew crop forecast for 2018, and the second would discuss critical challenges that face the raw cashew trade. Tomorrow, pre-lunch, we have a session on understanding cashew kernel buyers' expectations, followed by a session on nutrition, quality, and food safety standards. Then we would have an update on cashew women and some interesting videos on promoting cashews. Post-lunch, the first session would be exploring new developments in cashew sector. And thereafter, we would have an understanding of the motive of people who have invested in the cashew sector. The most interesting session in the last session would be the forecast of the cashew kernel markets in 2018. Day 3 would begin with a session on technology and investment with special focus on pasteurization and economics of electricity generation from cashew shells. Thereafter, we would have Africa Investment Forum and the roundtable on Cashew Vision 2030. The conference venue has provided the luxury of vast space for conferencing, lunch area, and exhibition. We have over 22 exhibitors eager to share about their new products and services. Please do take some time to visit the booth outside and engage with them. I am sure it would be immensely beneficial for your business. We have organized a special Cashew Women Breakfast session on February 2nd, that is tomorrow, and day after, February 3rd. I encourage all ladies to join the meeting at the breakfast hour and drive this agenda forward. We have tried to provide you enough time for networking during the breaks and also in the evening cocktail today and the gala dinner tomorrow. A conference of this scale is not possible without the immense support of sponsors, partners, and the supporting body. I thank each one of them for the support and encouragement and sincerely believe that their investments will be very productive. We have launched a mobile app for the conference. It works in both Android and iOS. Please contact the help desk and register. It will help you to fix appointments, use your time more judiciously, ask questions during the sessions, and also browse through the program agenda. Cashew Info is committed to the development of the global cashew industry. We have been pursuing this agenda in the last 17 years since Cashew Info has been in existence. We value your partnership and association. Hope this conference would help you further in your business and bring better prosperity to the sector. With these words, I wish you all a grand success in this conference. Best wishes and good luck to you all. Piece of information from my colleague Vinayak. Indian government has reduced the duty on raw cashews from 5% to 2.5%. Thank you very much. Thank you.
May I now invite our next speaker, Dr. R.K. Budes, Chairman, Cashew Export Promotion Council of India. Dr. Budes has been working very closely with the Government of India and cashew industry to increase the competitiveness and share of Indian cashews in the global market. An avid reader, Dr. Budes was awarded PhD for his thesis in cashew industry and markets from School of Management Studies, Cochin University of Science and Technology, Kochi. With these words, may I welcome Mr. Dr. R.K. Budes to present his address. A huge round of applause for Dr. R.K. Budes.
Sri Srivastava, Dr. Kulibali, Mr. Mahesh Patil, other dignitaries of the dais, ladies and gentlemen. It's a privilege to be invited to address this vast gathering in the inaugural session of the World Cashew Convention 2018. Earlier also, I had the opportunity to participate in all the past editions of the World Cashew Conference. And I take this opportunity to congratulate the team of cashewinfo.com for organizing such a wonderful conference, engaging the entire link of the cashew value chain all across the world. The first two editions were held in Dubai, the entry port to the emerging Middle East markets, and the third one in Singapore, the trade hub of the industry. Today, the WCC is being held in Macau, the city of gambling. Mr. Srivastava, does it also give an indication on how the cashew industry is moving nowadays? Today, the current and looming crisis of the cashew industry is of great concern to all of us. Unlike cashew kernel trade, the international raw cashew nut is not well structured or organized. Gone are those days when raw cashew nuts were segregated at the origin on the basis of quality. For example, Tanzania used to classify the raw cashew nut into 12 categories on the basis of the region of production from A to L and market their cashew under 3 marks, that is CDJKL, AFGHA, and BE. Likewise, Nigeria used to segregate the raw cashew nuts as singers and floaters. Also, gone are those days where raw cashew nuts used to get the premium price based on the quality. As of now, in the trade of raw cashew, there are no standard specifications, standard contracts, and arbitration clauses. And many times, when dispute arises between the buyer and the seller, it is left to the settlement. The settlement is left to the fate alone. Now today, the disparity between the raw cashew prices and the kernel market is the basis of the crisis in processing. The unhealthy practice in the trade are to be discouraged. Today, cashew has come just as a commodity for trading without caring for its quality and other trade ethics. The quality issues of the raw cashew nuts, owing to triage and the mixing of different origins, are to be addressed properly. The delay in shipments is another serious concern for the processing industry. A lot of defaults are reported from either ends owing to market fluctuations. Contractual obligations are to be honored for any type of trade and business. The dispute in raw cashew nut trade between the buyers and sellers are leading to unhealthy litigation practices as well. As of now, there is no effective mechanism to address the trade problems in the raw cashew nut trade. In this context only, the Cashew Export Promotion Council has come out with efforts to channelize the raw cashew nut trade with an introduction of uniform customs and practice in the raw cashew nut trade. This UCP envisages, number one, defining specifications and standards of raw cashew nuts, introducing a standard and uniform contract for the raw cashew trade, introducing standard systems and procedure for raw cashew nut sampling and quality testing, defining settlements and compensations when there is a variation in contracted and supply terms, and introducing arbitration provisions in raw cashew nut trade as well. And I think that afterwards there's a special session on that where my colleague Mr. Krishnan Nair will be addressing. So I don't want to go much in detail on that aspect. But however, CPC is very particular that such a UCP should be taking care of the interest of all stakeholders in the value chain. As a beginning, the CPC has set up a technical committee, and the committee has collected and analyzed the work done by various organizations like Vinacas and the Federation of Indian Cashew Industry in this regard, and suggested some uniform norms for the quality and trade. This is under circulation to different stakeholders. In this regard, the CPC also had the delegation to the West Africa last week and had discussions with the government and trade organizations there who have all supported the idea of a UCP and offered their full support. I take this opportunity to request all delegates present here to extend their support both as an individual and also through the organization they belong to to the efforts of CPCA in channelizing the raw cashew trade that will benefit all stakeholders in the value chain. And again, on the kernel market, we are happy that the consumption is on an increase and there is more scope for market promotion. The CPC has come out with findings on its sponsored research on the effect of cashew kernel consumption in type 2 diabetics, and the results are much encouraging. Hope this will give a big boost to the consumption of cashew kernels worldwide. Today, India is at the forefront in offering quality cashew kernels to the world. It focuses on three aspects of fair trade, that is, quality, reliability, and consistency. As far as the Indian cashew sector is concerned, you have just heard from our Honorable Minister, and the CPC is proud to tell you that it's the first one to have submitted its strategic plan to the Government of India called Mission 2020 that envisages the growth of cashew sector in India. It also included the recommendation to withdraw the import duty on raw cashew. We have just got a good message on that, though it was not fully withdrawn, at least it has been reduced to 2.5%. I can assure you that our efforts will be still down there to see that the duty is withdrawn. So the strategic plan also envisages processing of around 2 million metric tons raw cashew nuts by the year 2020 and taking the exports volume to $1.2 billion. I am sure that all our fellow exporting countries have their own plans to improve their performance in the cashew trade as well. I take this opportunity to request all stakeholders of the industry to join together and form a global strategic plan to take this industry to great heights in the coming days. I am sure that the deliberations in this seminar in the coming days would discuss on various aspects of the industry and find effective solutions to take this industry to glorious levels. I hope that the conference will be judged by all of you to be very successful, and I look forward to be briefed on what we have learned from this outcome of these deliberations. With these words, let me thank one and all you and wish the conference all success. Thank you all.
May I now invite Dr. Adama Coulibaly, Managing Director, Cotton and Cashew Nut Council of Côte d'Ivoire. Dr. Coulibaly has taken charge as MD about 2 years ago. He is focused on delivering quality raw cashews to export markets. More importantly, he is doing his best to invite investments into the Ivorian cashew processing sector. May I invite Dr. Coulibaly to present to us the various government initiatives and programs in the Ivorian cashew industry. Over to you, sir. A huge round of applause.
Monsieur le Président de la World Cashew Convention 2018,
Mr. President of the World Cash Convention,
Monsieur le Directeur Général de Fortel,
Mr. Executive Director of Fortel,
qui est l'organisateur donc de cet événement,
organizing this event,
Monsieur le Président de CEPSI et cher ami,
Mr. President of CEPSI and dear friend,
Mesdames et Messieurs les experts
the experts,
et acteurs de l'industrie mondiale du cajou,
players in the world cashew market,
Mesdames et Messieurs les délégués,
Dear, okay, right.
distingués délégués,
Dear delegates,
c'est pour moi un grand plaisir renouvelé et un grand honneur pour la Côte d'Ivoire d'être invité à participer et à intervenir à une conférence internationale sur le cajou, encore plus à la Cashew Convention.
it's an honor for me and for Ivory Coast to be invited to such an international event on cashew.
Grâce au savoir-faire et à l'engagement de Monsieur le Directeur général et de ses collaborateurs,
Thanks to the commitment and the expertise of the executive director
et de vous tous, vous les participants à cet événement, ce rendez-vous est devenu un rendez-vous incontournable et privilégié du commerce mondial du cajou.
So thanks to the commitment of the director and of all of you, this event has become a very place to be for the cashew industry and the cashew actors.
Nous apprécions à sa juste valeur l'importance de cet événement et c'est pour cela que nous sommes venus en forte délégation, moi-même, un représentant de la primature de Côte d'Ivoire, un membre du conseil d'administration du CCA, 2 collaborateurs et de nombreux acteurs privés venus de Côte d'Ivoire.
We attach a very big importance to this event. And that's the reason we came here with a big delegation, including myself, including a delegate from the cabinet of the Prime Minister, and 6 other people from the cashew industry of Ivory Coast.
Permettez-moi, avant donc de profiter de cette belle occasion, pour exprimer à toutes et à tous mes vœux de bonheur, de santé à vous-même, vos familles et pour vos collaborateurs en cette année 2018, que nous souhaitons très prospère pour l'ensemble des acteurs du cajou, mais en particulier pour les acteurs qui sont présents donc dans cette salle.
Please allow me to wish you my best for this new year of 2018, for you and your family, and especially for people who are present to this conference.
Mesdames et Messieurs, l'importance du cajou pour la Côte d'Ivoire et pour ses populations rurales, pour son gouvernement, n'est plus à démontrer à vous qui connaissez bien la filière cajou à travers le monde.
Dear sir, dear madam, the significance of the cashew market in Ivory Coast and for Ivory Coast has been undeniable. It has been cashew has been playing a very significant role for the government of Ivory Coast and for its rural people.
Je voulais profiter juste de cette tribune pour vous donner quelques chiffres relativement donc à la filière cajou en Côte d'Ivoire et surtout donc tracer les perspectives pour l'année 2018 et les années à venir.
It's a big pleasure for me to give you some data on the cashew industry in Ivory Coast and also to give you an outlook for 2018.
En 2017, la Côte d'Ivoire, nous avons enregistré au niveau du Conseil Coton-Naka dans notre base de données 711 238 tonnes, 711 238 tonnes de cajou commercialisés dans notre système de suivi et de traçabilité.
So we have registered 700,000 tons of cashew production for the year 2017.
Donc ce tonnage ne prend pas bien sûr en compte les produits qui ont été commercialisés et qui ne sont pas passés par notre système de commercialisation. Tout le monde sait qu'une partie de notre production passe dans les pays voisins et donc grâce donc notamment à cause donc des relations entre les populations sur les frontières.
So this figure of 700,000 production of cashew doesn't include the part of the product that has been smuggled to neighboring countries.
Sur ce tonnage, 614 784 tonnes ont été donc commercialisées à l'international.
So out of this 700,000, 600,000 has been traded, that has been exported to international players.
68% sont allés au Vietnam, 28% en Inde et 3% au Brésil.
So out of these 600,000 of exports, 68% were exported to Vietnam, 28% to India, and 3% to Brazil.
La prise en compte des observations de nos partenaires commerciaux nous ont amenés à travailler beaucoup sur la qualité au cours de l'année 2017 et à mettre en place un dispositif de sensibilisation et de contrôle.
We have had some feedbacks from our international partners regarding the quality of the RCN, and we have been putting in place some task force to deal with the quality of RCN.
Ce qui a permis de redresser la qualité au niveau du taux d'humidité et du KOR, notamment en 2017. Et les efforts vont se poursuivre cette année et les années à venir, car nous sommes parfaitement conscients qu'il nous faut encore aller plus loin pour satisfaire nos clients, mais encore mieux pour impacter le revenu des producteurs dont la recette totale est conditionnée par et la quantité produite et la qualité produite.
So we have been undertaking some actions to lift the quality of the RCN, and we have the pleasure to announce that we have already been witnessing some improvements regarding the humidity and the cashew output ratio, and we hope to pursue these efforts in the forthcoming years, as we know that the quality and the quantity of RCN are of a big importance to increase the revenues to farmers.
C'est à cette fin que nous avons mis en place une plateforme qualité inclusive à l'intérieur de laquelle tous les acteurs conjuguent leurs efforts pour offrir au marché des noix brutes en constante amélioration.
We have set a committee which includes all the players in the RCN industry, so as to get feedback from everyone and to improve the quality of RCN.
Cette plateforme est en ce moment même sur le terrain en train de mener donc des campagnes de sensibilisation dans la perspective de l'ouverture de la campagne 2018.
This committee is being working through the different regions of Ivory Coast to provide information just because we are at the very beginning of the season.
Nous serons toujours reconnaissants à tous ceux de nos partenaires commerciaux qui nous font des retours sur la qualité, mais des retours justes et sans abus.
We are grateful to all our partners as they provide us with very rightful feedbacks.
Pour ce qui est de la transformation, la Côte d'Ivoire est résolument engagée dans une volonté d'aller à la transformation d'une partie de sa production de noix brutes de cajou.
Regarding processing, Ivory Coast has made a very strong commitment to process 50% of its production by 2020.
Un certain nombre de mesures ont été mises en place par le gouvernement, à savoir une subvention à la production de noix d'amande, la possibilité pour les transformateurs d'acheter Borchamp sans intermédiaire et aussi la possibilité d'exporter les amandes de cajou sans taxe.
The government have implemented some measures, including some subsidies of 600 per tons of kernel exported. Also, the government has provided the licenses to processors to go to the bush and buy without any intermediation.
En 2016, la subvention qui a été donnée aux transformateurs qui ont produit donc des amandes blanches de cajou en Côte d'Ivoire a été donc de l'ordre de 3 milliards de francs CFA, c'est-à-dire 4 500 000 euros.
So in 2016, the government has provided 4.5 million euros to processors as a subsidy that was a subsidy provided to processors who have exported kernel.
Malgré ces mesures, la satisfaction n'est pas encore au point au total pour la quantité transformée et le gouvernement a décidé d'aller encore plus loin en sollicitant des partenaires techniques et financiers pour le financement d'un projet qu'on appelle projet de promotion des chaînes de valeur de la noix de cajou.
So these measures, even though they have been strong, the government is not satisfied with the result, and it has entered into an agreement with the World Bank regarding a project called Bird Enclave that will be dealing with the competitiveness of the value chain of the cashew.
La Banque mondiale et la Banque européenne d'investissement ont décidé d'accompagner la Côte d'Ivoire dans cette volonté.
The World Bank and the European Investment Bank have decided to partner with Ivory Coast.
Ainsi, nous sommes en train de travailler à créer des zones industrielles dédiées à la transformation dans 5 villes de Côte d'Ivoire. Pour ceux qui connaissent un peu la Côte d'Ivoire, il s'agit donc de Boaké, de Bondoukou, de Korogo, de Séguéla et plus tard d'Odiéné.
We have a project to develop industrial platform dedicated to cashew processing in 5 cities in Ivory Coast, including Korogo, which is on the north, Ojene, which is also on the northwest, Boaké, which is on the center, Séguéla, which is also on the center, and Bondoukou, which is on the east.
Donc j'invite tous les industriels du cajou au nom du gouvernement de Côte d'Ivoire à venir donc profiter des opportunités que le gouvernement de Côte d'Ivoire offre aux transformateurs de noix brutes de cajou.
I would like to invite all the players to come in Ivory Coast and take part to the development of this platform.
C'est le droit de la Côte d'Ivoire de vouloir transformer ces noix brutes de cajou, mais c'est aussi son devoir, notre devoir d'approvisionner nos partenaires commerciaux, et c'est pourquoi nous travaillons à l'augmentation de la production.
It's a right of Ivory Coast to process part of its cashew production, but it's also a commitment, and it's a commitment for Ivory Coast to provide its partner in raw cashew.
C'est pourquoi nous travaillons donc à l'augmentation de la production, notamment à l'augmentation des rendements. Et l'année dernière, en 2017, nous avons lancé le programme national de recherche sur l'anacarde. Nous avons organisé un colloque, le premier colloque scientifique sur l'anacarde en Côte d'Ivoire, qui était donc le CISA. Et ces 2 événements concourront à faire donc la Côte d'Ivoire un pays davantage producteur en augmentant les rendements et au final en augmentant donc la quantité de noix brutes produites chaque année.
So as mentioned, it's the right of Ivory Coast to process part of its production, but Ivory Coast also has a firm willing to provide RCN to its partners. And that's the reason we have been increasing the quantity and quality of RCN. And by that, we have organized the first symposium on RCN in Ivory Coast, and we've also been implementing a national program on cashew research.
Mesdames et messieurs, notre présence, je l'ai dit, est une délégation forte parce que nous sommes convaincus que c'est à travers donc, ces genres de forums que nous partageons les expériences, mais c'est aussi pour avancer ensemble. Et nous sommes donc en train de travailler et très activement à la création de l'Organisation internationale du cajou, qui est donc le CICC, Conseil international consultatif du cajou, qui a été donc mis en place et qui a été signé pour le moment par 9 pays. Et nous invitons tous les autres gouvernements, producteurs et consommateurs à adhérer à cette organisation de façon à ce que nous fédérons nos énergies pour aller vers une organisation forte et une filière forte qui fait vivre donc tous ces acteurs à travers le monde.
Dear sir, dear madam, I believe that this is the right occasion to share our experience, and I would like to mention that we have been implementing all the tasks to put in place an international consultative committee on cashew, and I would like to invite everybody to come and play their role in that committee.
Ce conseil est à l'image de toutes les autres organisations internationales, à savoir l'ICAC pour le coton, l'ICCO pour le cacao, etc. Et nous attendons en particulier nos amis indiens et nos amis vietnamiens comme membres très actifs donc, de cette organisation Et bien sûr, tous les autres pays sont attendus, y compris donc les pays consommateurs.
So this is an international committee, as there are already in cocoa and cotton. So we would like to invite our Indian partners and any partners, especially the countries supporting the kernels, to come and go in that committee.
Je voudrais enfin rappeler que 2018 verra l'organisation de la 3e édition du CIETA, qui est le Salon international des équipements de technologie de transformation de l'anacarde. Elle se tiendra à Abidjan en novembre prochain, du 8 au 10 novembre prochain à Abidjan, au Palais de la Culture. Et je voudrais donc inviter l'ensemble des délégués présents dans cette salle à se mobiliser pour être à Abidjan en novembre prochain, pour que nous fassions de cette édition un grand succès, comme nous avons le succès ici à Macao.
So I would like to record that from the 8th to 10th of November this year, there would be the 3rd edition of the International Symposium on Equipment on Cashew. So I would like to invite everybody to come to this event. So that will be from the 8th to the 10th of November this year.
Donc, en attendant de vous retrouver à Abidjan, je voudrais une fois de plus remercier très chaleureusement les organisateurs de cet événement qui nous donnent l'opportunité de découvrir donc la magnifique ville de Macao. Et nous sommes très heureux d'être là, moi-même et ma délégation. Et donc nous souhaitons plein succès aux travaux. Je vous remercie.
So before welcoming you to Ivory Coast in November, I would like to thank again the organizer of these beautiful events in this beautiful city. I thank you.
Mr. Mahesh Patel, Chairman and Managing Director, ETG Group. We are very happy to have you here at the 4th World Cashew Convention, sir. ETG Group has been investing in Africa for over 3 decades now and has been keen on promoting holistic growth across the cashew value chain. ETG, as well as we all know, has cashew processing units in several countries in Africa. They are also actively involved in working with farmers to increase productivity and income levels. Sir, we invite you to address the gathering. Round of applause, please.
Thank you. Good afternoon. My colleague on the dais, distinguished guests, speakers, delegates, and my friends. A very warm ETG welcome to one and all. First, I would like to take this opportunity to thank and convey my respect to WCC, Mr. Srivastava, and the team for making this historical event successful each year. I'm truly honored and humbled to be here today. To my knowledge, this is the convention in the world where global cashew stakeholders convey in one place to discuss a brighter, better, and a bigger future for cashew fraternity. Let us make it a count. As the chairman of ETG, I take this privilege to address the elephant in this room, future of cashew, and how do we achieve the desired future. Firstly, attain production adequacy and substantial boost local processing through adapting cutting-edge technologies. We feel that by 2025, global production of cashew is projected to be around $10 billion. Today, Africa as a region, it is the largest producer of RCN in the world and will continue doing so. But less than 10% is processed locally. A 3%, just a 3%, increase in processing of RCN will soon boost household income of African by at least $100 million. Vietnam is a good success story. We must learn from them by acknowledging their remarkable success and create our own in our own ways. Now imagine if around 50% of the cashew processed locally in Africa, by 2025, Africa will truly emerge as a comprehensive cashew leaders of the world. But that doesn't mean that Vietnam and India will be out of business. Africa has a huge land. We say at the moment that 60% of the world's arable land is still lying in Africa. The opportunity of further production is great, and there will be enough for processing in Vietnam, in India, as well as in Africa. So if we can all collaborate together and assist each other, I think this is a way forward where we can all have a public-private partnership in making this success. Well, I will talk more on Africa because I see the future lies in Africa because the production will come from Africa. Secondly, boost farmers' livelihood through education, training, and technology awareness. It is imperative that we adopt and develop cutting technologies to process the RCN within Africa. Manual ancient methods of processing must be automated. Seamless tracking and traceability will provide absolute transparency. Local processing through cutting-edge technology is the only solution. ETG also has a wing with Farmers Foundation where we assist smallholder farmers in view to means of alleviating poverty in smallholder farmers in Africa. The current focus is to create a sustainability business model by developing skill sets in Africa through investment, training, and knowledge transfer. We also believe improved financial modalities. As recommended last year at the World Cashew Convention, breaking the supply chain and its constituent cost links down into a clear and a measurable components will provide a better insight into more appropriate financing arrangements that will help to de-risk volatility in key links, enhance understanding and permitting and testing of new financing modalities along the chain. We also need to understand of sustainability and lucrative policy and trading environments. Improved inter-Africa trade with reform of custom duties will help to reduce working capital needs and logistic cost of processors and spur the growth efficiency in processing operations. Infrastructure by government and financial institutions is much needed for increasing capacity of Africa ports, especially for West African ports, to cater for significant increase in production and market offtakes. Lastly, I would say enhance value-add opportunities as per current and projected market trends. For example, value-added superfoods such as cashew protein bars, coated regional flavor cashews, and such products made in Africa and exported globally will fetch 2 to 3 times the processed kernel value. Definitely, Africa is an emerging, a new big consumer over the years to come. The future of cashew is bright. I wish each and one of you a meaningful and productive 3 days at WCC, Macau. Thank you one and all for your time and patience. God bless.
It is time now to felicitate the dignitaries. May I request Mr. Mahesh Patel, Chairman and Managing Director, ETG Group, to do us the honor of presenting the memento to Dr. R.K. Budes, Chairman, CEPCI, India. Huge round of applause, everybody. Thank you very much, sir. I now call upon Mr. B.K. Anand, CEO Vink Corporation, DMCC, platinum sponsor of the conference, to come over and present the memento to Dr. Adama Coulibaly, MD, CCA, Côte d'Ivoire. Huge round of applause. Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Looks lovely. I request Mr. G. Srivatsava, President, Fortel Business Solutions Private Limited, to present the memento to Mr. Mahesh Patel, CMD, ETG Group.